Hey everyone, and thanks for tuning in. Casper here. Casper from the future here. I just want to give you a bit of context to this video you're about to watch. Originally, it was going to be talking about the Iron Bomber, but everything I did, I just ended up talking about the Pyro Flames, talking about the map that I was on. So it just sort of turned into a Jungle Inferno review video. So what you're about to see is me when I realised that this video was going to be a Jungle Inferno video. So please enjoy, and the Iron Bomber is okay. Thank you. I suppose now is as good a time as ever, so why don't we make this a sort of Jungle Inferno look back video. Talk about this map, talk about the skins, talk about the pyro. Rather than my good, the bad, the pyro, just talk mainly about the campaign, rather than the update as a whole. So this is one of the Jungle Inferno maps. It's called Enclosure. Overall, I think the maps are pretty okay. Banana Bay is obviously not a competitively viable map, but it's not trying to be. It's meant to be a funny, stupid, silly map, and I think it does a great job. Where is your dispenser? Because I need ammo. Well, that'll do for now. This map I think is pretty cool. I haven't had too many opportunities to play it, but I like a payload map, and I think it's got potential. Mercenary Park, I don't think it's as bad as some others. It's another map that sort of does what it sets out to do. But I do think that they skimped on the aesthetics a little bit. They had this cool idea, oh, this is like a Jurassic Park kind of world thing. And then most of it is just like inside, boring, grey, warehouse kind of looking. So that is a bit of a missed opportunity, if you ask me. I can't remember the other maps, but, you know, it's kind of standard for a Team Fortress update. There was nothing that was exactly revolutionary, but at the same time, what was there was fine. We all know how I felt about the campaign, so let's not talk about that. If you do want to know what I thought about it, watch my video, The Good, the Bad, and the Yeti. That will be linked at the end, probably, if I remember this moment. That's where this weapon does good stuff. A friendly pyro just walked past me and didn't decide to heal me at all. There's a spy. That guy has been shreked by me many times now. I'm pretty sure there's health kit down here. Lovely. And the skins, overall, were pretty good, I suppose. The sort of idea of... can I shoot into their spawn? Is that their spawn? I don't know. We'll find out now. Yeah, it's not their spawn. Why would you ask me to switch teams when there's such little time left? I'm not going to just suddenly go to the losing team when there's 20 seconds left. Thank you very much. So if you didn't already know, this map is actually designed to be like an escape from this enclosure. It's a bit jungly themed, it's a bit dinosaur-y themed. I think there's like a triceratops there, and there's a few other sort of enclosure hints throughout. And this map does a better job at the desired theme than the official map, if you ask me. All three-stage, I think it's a three-stage payload map, feel more jungly, feel more Yeti Park, obviously. It's a bit more Jurassic Park than Yeti Park. But they all do that job better than Mercenary Park does. Which, I don't know what you want to take away from that. Plenty of my team have left the spawn. Nobody seemed to want to go for the payload. So let's be on that duty for a little while as we chat away. So I was saying, yeah, the skins are pretty decent overall. This is apparently banana peel. Doesn't look much like a banana to me, but who am I to judge? I'm not a designer. But I actually think the skins that came out at Christmas time overall, that was a very suspicious movement. Yeah, the skins that came out at Christmas time were better overall than the ones that came with the update itself. But I thought the idea that you can actually now, you just get a skin and you apply that to whatever weapon you want. That was a great move. That takes a lot of the sort of fiddly, sort of unnecessary bits out of skins and that sort of thing in general. I haven't been using this quickie bomb launcher at all, so let's use it a bit now. Helped that it was a random crit, but given the amount of damage he'd taken before, I think he was dead regardless. I wonder if I can get over there. Oh. But other than the skins and the maps, obviously we have the new pyro weapons and the changes to pyro's flame mechanics. Now, the pyro weapons, I don't know the order of the videos I'm going to release this week, so you maybe already know how I feel about the majority of the pyro weapons, so I won't go into too much details. If you don't already know, then watch the video where it appears to be obviously me talking about the new pyro weapons based on the thumbnail and the title. But the pyro changes itself, where they change the flame mechanics. Those are the real big impact. And you can see, based on this alone, this snapshot, this happenstance snapshot, that was by no means orchestrated to prove a point, what the changes to pyro have done to the game. Pyro is just now insane. It's just, the flames just don't work as intended, unfortunately. They were meant to make things more consistent, more balanced, and all they've done is just make pyro a spammy, insane mess, which it started with beforehand, and they somehow have increased that. Now, my worry is, in my experience of the Team Fortress 2 dev team, and, you know, I don't know them personally, this isn't a slight on their characters or anything, this is purely observation based on actions I've seen in the past. They won't even acknowledge that pyro is in a bad way. And they absolutely categorically will not revert the changes. Because if that was their mentality, I think we would have seen it already. It's been, what's it, 3 months? More than that? 4 months? Since the pyro has been this way. Tell you what, let's continue this in a moment. So this is pretty cool. You noticed perhaps at the end of that stage we were just on, it ended with a little sort of rivery, lakey looking bit with airboats. So the implication is now to get to this next stage, we took the airboats around to the lake. It's you know, it's something that just doesn't affect the map at all, but it adds to the theme, it adds to the atmosphere, and that's something that is really cool thing. So it's something that you ideally want to see in as many maps as possible. But if you can't beat them, join them. So I'm gonna perhaps hopefully illustrate some of the bullshittery that is possible now. That is one technique to get pwned because I was being shit. But yes, we'll demonstrate when we get a chance. But back to what I was saying before the previous round ended. They don't seem to sort of acknowledge a big fuck up. And again, I don't want to make this about the people personally on the dev team because I don't know what you don't know what discussions are going on behind closed doors. You don't know actually what the dev team thinks and feels. All you know is what you see, and what we see is nothing. What we see is no message from the dev team about the state of pyro, no patch notes, nothing to give us any indication the current changes aren't exactly what they wanted to see. We've got nothing to indicate that what they are seeing, what people are sort of finding out in terms of how the new flames work and taking advantage of those sort of things. We've got nothing to lead us to believe that that isn't exactly what they wanted to happen. So that's what we're going to have to assume, because they haven't told us otherwise. And from previous things where an update hasn't quite gone as expected, or the community has come out and said, oh no, I don't like how this works, most of the time they just leave it. They don't change it. Oh, thank God he burned for so long. And this is pretty imbalanced, and, you know, we could go all the way back to Meet Your Match. Meet Your Match is a perfect example of this behavior. In fact, actually, I tell a lie. They did acknowledge some stuff when Meet Your Match first dropped. They did sort of step back and go, oh, hang on, we messed up a bit here. But what they haven't done is changed the core of Meet Your Match. And that was the thing that people hated the most. You've got... Another thing that community talks about quite often is random crits. Something else that they don't seem to care. I know people who have personally gone to Valve and said we don't want random crits. And yet, here they are. I think this is going to end a little bit quickly. But I think that, helps to illustrate my point about Meet Your Match. That it didn't achieve what it tried to achieve. It's been largely abandoned as far as we know. Again, I say this only as far as we know, because we're not told anything else. So hopefully 2018 is the year of proving Casper wrong, and we get incredible matchmaking, we get fixes for pyro, and in general, TF2 has a good year. I've gone completely off tangent. This was meant to be a video about the Iron Bomber. Anyway, guys, the Iron Bomber is great. You should use that gun. Thank you. Bye-bye.